5. We are 5. Okay, so objective today. What we're going to do is finding equations of parabolas. We're going to find the equations by 3 ways, and we're going to show you what 3 ways are, okay? So today is 9, 10, 19, okay? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you, don't you get them?
No.
How'd you miss out on that?
I don't know.
That's a classic part.
What we're going to do is I'm going to give you 3 different formulas, which you kind of know what the formulas are, but I'm going to give them to you anyway, okay? So first of all, Vertex form. It's y equals a parentheses x minus h squared plus k. And I'll wait for you to write that down, okay? So I'm going to give you 3 formulas, okay? So the value a, we know, what does a do to the graph? What is a? What's the importance of the value of a? Yeah, it's kind of like a slope. It makes it stretch, right? The a makes it stretch or shrink, right? You can even make it upside down if a is negative, right? If a is negative, it's upside down. H and k are the vertex. H and k together are the vertex. So we know that h, the value h, k is the vertex. Yeah. Now the x and y are just all the x and all the y values on the parabola. That's why you got a variable, because if you think about it, the x and the y represent all of the x variables and all of the y values along the curve. Okay, I can talk. Got to wake up here. I haven't had my coffee yet. See what happens? Now standard form, we saw that yesterday. Y equals. What are you gonna do?
I just want my jacket. That's going to solve for that.
Make it quick. Ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay. So this is standard form, and we saw this yesterday, right? Standard form, the advantage to standard form is that we can get the y-intercept pretty easily, and a, b, and c are just numbers in front of the x squared, okay? And now the x-intercept form is one you haven't seen. So the x-intercept form is going to be like this. Y equals parentheses x minus h and an x minus k, all right? And I'm going to draw a picture of that, okay? So the intercept form, x-intercept forms, if I draw a picture so you can see this one, h and k are the x-intercepts. One could be here. I'm just making up one, okay? I'm just making it up. This is a made-up problem, okay? This could be a value h, and this could be value k, right? And then your parabola could go through those, right? So sometimes that's all we know. So if I go back to our warm-up, right? We did our warm-up. We did all that factoring, right? You guys factored these. You put them in that form. You put them in the x-intercept form. You really did, right? So we have these 3 forms. We're going to use these 3 forms to answer example 1, example 2, and example 3, okay? So let's take a look at example 1. It says example 1, parabola passes through the point 6, 4 and has a vertex of 2, negative 3. Okay, so we want to find the equation. Doesn't seem like a whole lot of information, does it? But let's pick this darn thing apart. Let me read it again. A parabola passes through 6, 4. Okay, so that's some x and some y value. It passes through it, right? So I know somewhere along the curve it's got a value at 6 and 4. Those are x and y values, right? And it has a vertex of 2, negative 3. Now vertex, right off the bat, ding, 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 my brain goes off and goes, wait a minute, vertex, so I probably want to use the vertex form. So I'm thinking, all right, if I have a vertex, I'm going to do a little bit of math, a little bit of algebra, I'm going to use that equation. Okay, I'm going to start right with that equation. My hint was, when it said vertex form, start with that equation. Okay, does that make sense? I got the vertex, I'm given a vertex, so I'm going to use the vertex form. Okay, keyword. So let me rewrite and put down the y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. All right, I'm going to put that down there. And now what I've got to do with this is somehow find that one, okay? So what I want to do is plug in the numbers I know, and we're going to try and solve. We're going to plug in numbers, sorry, it's a bad look at M, and solve for A, the value of A. So this, we want to find A, because I already know an X, I already know a Y, actually I already know an H, I already know a K. You see my X and my Y can be the 6 and the 4, because that's a point, right? And then my vertex tells me that my H is 2 and my K is -3, vertex form. So I'm going to put those values into my formula, and then all that would be left is just the A. So let's check it out. So I'm going to put my 4 in here for Y, right? I don't know A, but that's what I want to find. Parentheses, I have an X value of 6. I'll put 6 here. Minus H. Now H comes from the vertex, right? So I'm going to put my 2 right here, squared, plus my K, and my K value is a -3. All right, back up. Let's see what I've got. First thing I saw was vertex, so I knew I was going to use my vertex formula. So I thought, okay, I'll write that down. I have a point, so since I have a point, I have an X and a Y value. So I put my 6 in for my X, and I put my 4 for my Y, right? I'm going to put my 2, my -3 into the vertex form, so I put my 2 there for H and my -3 for K. Now, I got a lot of numbers, but what I don't know is A, but I can figure out what A is from here. I just have, because it's the only thing left. So I've got a 4 equals A times 4 squared minus 3. So I just went 6 minus 2 is 4, right? I need to solve for A, so that's just a solve for X kind of thing. So I'm going to go plus 3 plus 3. I've got 7 equals 16A. All right, 16 because I went 4 squared. I divide by 16, and I know that A is equal to 7/16. Now, I'm looking for the equation, right? That's the question. It says find the equation. I'm going to find the equation. So I'm going to rewrite. I'm going to rewrite the whole thing with all the correct things in there. So if I'm going to rewrite the equation, I got to make sure I have X and Y in there. So let's rewrite the equation. So I'm going to have my Y equals my A times my X minus H squared plus K. That's my formula. But now I know A, and I know H, and I know K. I'm going to leave X and Y as variables, right? Y equals, right? I'm going to leave X and Y as variables because that way I can graph my parabola. So I'm going to rewrite it as Y equals 7/16, because that's A, right? Parentheses X minus H, which is minus 2 squared, plus K, which is plus a -3 or minus 3. There's my answer. This is the parabola that has that point with that vertex. A little bit hard, right? A little bit harder than what we did yesterday.
Yeah.
But I'll help you with it, okay? I'll even do some of the homework with you. Some, not all of it, some, okay? Okay, example 2. Okay, so where are you at? Sideways on that one? Thumbs down? Anybody thumbs up?
No.
Okay, so let's practice. Okay, example 2. So I may need to do a little bit of homework with you today. You're probably okay with that, right?
I like it.
Yeah. Okay, example 2. A parabola has x-intercepts of 2 and 8 and passes through 0, 3. Find the equation. It's a parabola. Okay, so, all right, x-intercepts. So I've got an equation for that too, don't I? So x-intercepts. So I'm going to use that formula. So you see keywords x-intercepts. I've got 3 formulas, right? So my 3 formulas are vertex, standard, and x-intercept. So now I'm going to use my x-intercept form 1. So I'm going to rewrite that. I'm going to go, okay, y equals a times x minus h times x minus k, all right? So up here in the form I told you that h and k are the intercepts. H and K are the intercepts. In fact, I might want to write that up there. H and K are the intercepts. I'll write that up there. Okay, so H and K are the intercepts. And on example 2, then I know that 2 is my H and 8 is my K, all right? So what I'm going to do is put, and I'll do it in a second, I'll put the 2 right there for H, and I'll put the 8 right there for K, all right? Now, I have a point, 0, 3, and every point has an X value, right? And a Y value, right? So I'll put my 0 in for X, for both X's, right? And I'll put my 3 in for Y. What I don't know is A, the value of A. So again, I'm going to find and plug in numbers, same thing, and solve for A. All right, so got to find A. I'm going to plug my numbers in. Am I going slowly enough? All right, here we go. So I'm going to put 3 right there, because that's my Y, right? You're way ahead of me like that. Must be doing a good job. Equals A. I've got an X value of 0, so I'll put a 0 here, right? And now H. H is my 2, so I'll go minus 2 parentheses. I've got an X value, I know my X value is 0, minus my K value, which is 8, okay? How am I doing? So if I look at this, I have a bunch of numbers and A. Well, I can solve for A then. So a 3 equals A negative 2 times negative 8, right? 0 minus 2 and 0 minus 8, okay? I'm going to multiply that. 3 equals positive 16A, right? Divide by 16, divide by 16. So you know that A is equal to 3/16. How am I doing? Am I going slowly enough? Okay, now let's rewrite it. Okay, because what we need is the equation, right? It says find the equation. That's my question. Find the equation. So let's rewrite it. So I'm going to rewrite. And I'm going to go, hey, y equals my, and I've got to use the same formula, A times x minus h and x minus k. All right. And if I need an equation, again, we're going to keep x and y as variables. Okay, I need an equation, so we need my variables x and y. That way you can graph it, right? You got to keep x and y. But I'll put everything else in here. I'll go y equals, I know the a is 3/16. I'll go x minus 2 times an x minus 8. And that's my equation. Okay, that's my answer. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. All right, ready to turn the page? Do you have your calculator? We got have their graphics calculator with them. Okay, we're going to need the graphics calculator. Okay, now a parabola passes through these 3 points. Find the equation of the parabola that passes through these points. Okay, now bummer, it's not vertex form. I'm seriously bummer. It's not vertex form. It's not an intercept form, so I'm going to have to use the other equation. So I'm going to have to use my standard form. So I'm going to use my standard form. Which is my, and I'm going to rewrite it backwards on purpose. Hi, Dawn. Dawn, how are you? Here, give me a hug.
I'm like, I was thinking about it.
Yeah. I'm recording, so I got to keep teaching. Okay?
Yeah.
Is Dawn evil? Well, not evil anymore. One of my former students. Yeah, give me a second to finish this. Okay. So, standard form. So I'm going to rewrite it. So standard form is this one, right? Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, right? I'm going to rewrite it backwards on purpose, and you're going to see why. Okay, so I'm going to write it like this. Okay, I'm going to write it as ax squared plus bx plus c equals y. Okay, I'm going to write it like that. It's still the same equation. You guys agree? Okay, but it's backwards. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Every point has an x and y value, right? But I got 3 points. So I'm going to use all 3 points 3 different times in this equation. So first of all, point 1, point A, let's just call it point 1, which is my negative 2, 5, has an x and a y value, right? So let's plug my negative 2 in for x for both spots, right? Now let's plug my 5 in for y. You okay with that? Alright, so I'm going to go I'm going to go negative 2 squared plus b times a negative 2 plus a c equals 5. Okay, and I'll stop for a second. Let you think about what I just did, okay? Okay, I'll stop, back up, slow down for a second, okay? Let you see what I did, okay? Okay, a point has an x and a y value, right? My 5 is my y, my negative 2 is my x. So I plugged my negative 2 in for x, both spots, right? And I plug my 5 in for y. Thumbs up. Let's tidy this up. I'm going to tidy this up. I'm going to call that a 4a, negative 2 squared, right? Minus 2b plus a 1c equals 5. Okay? How am I doing? All right. Here's the bummer. And I'm thinking somebody in here was listening one of these days. I think somebody was listening. 3 variables. How many equations do I need? 3. Somebody was listening. So I need 2 more equations. How am I going to get 2 more equations? Well, let's use the other 2 points, right? So point 2 is my, kind of a pain, isn't it? Sorry, guys. But it can be done. 1, negative 3. Okay, so we got the same thing. I'm going to take my 1 and plug it in for my x, and my negative 3 and plug it in for my y, right? So I'm going to rewrite as a, and plug it in 1 for x, 1 squared plus b times 1 plus c equals negative 3. So I'm plugging it into, again, my standard form, right? Plugging it right back into that one, okay? Plug my 1 in for my x's, and I plug my negative 3 in for my y, right? Let's tidy it up. That's the same thing as really a 1a plus a 1b plus a 1c equals negative 3, okay? Okay, I got 2 equations. I need a third. And I bet you know where the third equation is coming from, right? It's coming from where is the third equation coming from? Third point, right? So point 3, which is c, we've got my 4, 7. Again, every point's got some x and some y value, right? So I'm going to plug the 7 in for y and the 4 in for all the x's into the standard form. Okay, so we'll go and rewrite this as a times 4 squared plus b times 4 plus c equals 7. When I'm all done, I'd love you to tell them your story. It's a pretty good story. Okay, so then 16a plus 4b plus 1c equals 7. Okay, now, doesn't look like we've got anything, but let me go ahead and rewrite things in a certain way, and you're going to go, Mr. Davies, I got an idea. Hopefully. Cross my fingers. Okay. So let me rewrite. Here's my 3 equations. Equation 1 is a 4a minus a 2b plus a 1c equals 5. Equation 2 is a 1a plus a 1b plus a 1c equals negative 3. And equation 3 was a 16a plus a 4b plus a 1c equals 7. Okay, do you see anything? Do you see anything? What would you do? If you had to solve for a, b, and c, what would you do? Anybody have any great ideas? Leah, what would you do? Yep, you're picking up your calculator. Matrix! Hey, nice job, girl. You guys, can you see that that looks like a matrix problem, right? So we got our matrix A. So, right, we got our matrix A. Thank you, Leah. Matrix A. Okay, so let's see. Go ahead and put in your calculator, right? 4, negative 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 16, 4, 1. Right? Matrix A. So we'll put that in our calculator. We've got matrix B, which is our 5, negative 3, 7. Okay? So I'll join in with you and I'll start plugging them into my calculator. Okay? So I'm going to go to my matrix, on, clear, second matrix, edit, right? You guys we're getting good at this. Edit, right? Edit, enter, 2 by 3, and I'm going to go 4, enter, negative 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 16, 4, 1, right? Am I doing okay? Everybody with me? We've done this before, right? I'm going to quit and make matrix B. Am I going too fast? Okay. Matrix. Oops, clear that. I want matrix. Edit B, which is a 3 by 1 matrix. I'm going to go 5, negative 3, 7, right? Okay. And what I have to put in my calculator is this darn A, matrix A inverse times B, right? You guys remember that? We gotta put that in my calculus. I'm gonna do that. Okay, quit. So I'm gonna go back to matrix. I'm gonna go A inverse times matrix B. Boom. Okay, so what did I get?
Negative 1.6666.
Yeah. So I got an answer of. So my answer is this. I got a 1, a negative 1 2/3, and a negative 2 2/3. Okay, just trust me on that decimal thing, right? 2/3, 1/3, right? 0.3333. Everybody good on that? Okay, now, so what? Is that the answer? No. What are we trying to do? Let's go back to the question. What's the question say? Find.
The equation of the problem.
Yeah. So okay. Well, what did I highlight? My standard form, right? But what did I find? I found A, I found B, and I found C. So my answer, you ready for my answer? Here's my answer. Y equals, thank you. Y equals, I know what A is. What's A? What did your calculus say A was? 1. 1 x squared plus, what's B? Negative 1 2/3, right? Or the negative 1.3 repeating. Here, I'll make it, or negative 1.6. I'll make it easy for you. Negative 1.6 repeating x. And then what's C finally? Negative 2 1/3, or negative 2.3 repeating. Okay? Yeah. There's the equation. That was a lot of work, wasn't it? Yeah. Too much work. Never too much work. Never. All right.